They're invisible to the eye, yet powerful enough to stop the world. They don't breathe, don't eat, and technically, they're not even alive. But these tiny particles have shaped history, wiped out millions, and still haunt us today, from ancient plagues to modern pandemics. This is the terrifying world of deadly viruses. A virus is not really alive. It cannot grow or reproduce by itself. It needs to enter a living cell. Once inside, it takes control of that cell. It turns the cell into a virus-making factory. The cell produces more and more copies of the virus until it bursts, and the new viruses go on to infect other cells. This is how a simple virus becomes deadly: by spreading fast inside a body and damaging it from the inside out. Not all viruses are harmful. Some cause mild problems like colds or warts, but a few have changed human history. They have caused plagues, pandemics, and fear across the world. One of the most feared viruses is Ebola. First seen in 1976 in Africa, Ebola spreads through contact with blood, vomit, or other body fluids of infected people or animals. It doesn't spread through air, but once someone gets it, the virus attacks the blood vessels and organs. It causes bleeding, both inside and outside the body. The death rate can be as high as 90%. It often comes from wild animals like fruit bats, and sometimes spreads in rural hospitals where safety is limited. A close cousin of Ebola is the Marburg virus, named after a German city where it was first discovered. Like Ebola, it causes high fever, bleeding, and death. It also comes from animals, and scientists believe fruit bats may be the main carrier. Marburg outbreaks are rare, but when they happen, they are deadly. Another silent killer is rabies. It has been around for thousands of years. It spreads through animal bites, especially dogs, bats, and raccoons. Once inside the body, the virus travels along the nerves to the brain. It causes confusion, fear of water, and violent behavior. And once symptoms start, it is almost always fatal, but there's hope. If a person gets the vaccine immediately after being bitten, they can survive. That's why awareness and early action are so important. Then comes HIV, the virus that causes AIDS. It does not kill quickly. Instead, it hides in the body and slowly destroys the immune system. Over time, the body becomes weak and unable to fight even small infections. HIV came from wild chimpanzees and entered humans through the hunting and eating of bushmeat. Since the 1980s, HIV has killed more than 40 million people. Today, it still affects millions, but with modern medicines, people with HIV can live for many decades with normal lives. One of the oldest and deadliest viruses ever known is smallpox. It caused high fever, followed by painful blisters all over the body. Smallpox was extremely contagious and could kill up to 30% of those infected. It killed emperors, kings, and common people alike. But humans fought back. Using vaccines, we were able to defeat it. In 1980, the World Health Organization declared that smallpox was completely gone. It was the first disease ever wiped out by humans. But new viruses keep appearing. In 1993, in the US, a strange illness started in the Southwest. People were dying from severe lung disease. The cause? A new virus called hantavirus, spread through the urine and droppings of infected deer mice. People who breathed in the virus particles became very sick. The virus doesn't spread between people, but it reminds us that deadly viruses can come from even the smallest animals. Then there's the influenza virus, the flu. Most flu viruses cause mild symptoms, but sometimes a new kind of flu appears that is much more dangerous. In 1918, a flu pandemic infected 500 million people and killed more than 50 million. That flu, known as the Spanish flu, was one of the deadliest events in human history, and unlike most viruses, it killed not just the old or weak, but also healthy young adults. Flu viruses keep changing. That's why a new flu vaccine is made each year. The virus mutates. A small change in its code helps it escape our immune system. These changes make it hard to stop completely. Another family of viruses made headlines recently. Coronaviruses. These viruses are common. Many of them just cause a cold. But some, like SARS in 2002 and MERS in 2012, were deadly. SARS spread from civet cats and MERS from camels. Both caused lung damage and had high death rates. Then came the biggest one of our time, COVID-19. It started in late 2019 in China and spread across the world. The virus was new, but it was part of the coronavirus family. Scientists believe it came from bats, possibly through another animal. COVID-19 caused fever, cough, and in severe cases difficulty breathing and organ failure. It changed the world. Countries went into lockdowns. Millions died and hospitals struggled. But it also showed the power of science. For the first time, mRNA vaccines were used to stop a pandemic. These new vaccines were made in under a year and saved countless lives. But how do these viruses become so deadly? Some attack important organs like the lungs, liver, or brain. Others cause the immune system to go into overdrive, damaging the body more than the virus itself. Some viruses hide in the body for years and then suddenly become active again. Viruses also change through mutations. Every time a virus copies itself, small errors can occur. Most of these changes do nothing, but sometimes they help the virus spread faster, resist drugs, or become deadlier. That's why scientists keep watching new versions or variants of viruses, especially during outbreaks. Not all viruses harm humans. Some infect bacteria. These are called bacteriophages. They look like tiny robots and attack only bacteria. Scientists are studying them to fight antibiotic-resistant infections, a major health crisis of the future. So, where do new deadly viruses come from? Many start in wild animals. When humans cut down forests, capture wild animals, or live too close to wildlife, viruses can jump from animals to people. This is called spillover. It has happened with Ebola, HIV, SARS, and COVID-19. As we enter deeper into wild areas, we increase the chance of new diseases, and the risk is growing. With air travel, a virus from one corner of the world can spread globally in just a day. Add crowded cities, climate change, and weak healthcare systems, and we have the perfect setup for more outbreaks in the future. But there is hope. Scientists now have tools that were unthinkable decades ago. They can sequence a virus's full genetic code in hours. They can track virus spread in real time. Vaccines can be made faster than ever. Even diseases once thought incurable, like HIV, can now be treated. And most importantly, global cooperation is getting better. Health workers, researchers, and countries are learning to share information faster. That's the key to catching the next threat early, before it becomes a pandemic. And that was the story of deadly viruses. Not just a glimpse, but a journey through time. From ancient outbreaks to modern science. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Nature's Diary for more amazing stories of our world. See you next time.